Oh my gosh,
Fundamentals.
we would be the bad boys of Little League. I'm telling you now, we would beat the tar out of the other team.
I'm just gonna go out and say it. Joey Chestnut has to be on the pub.
Has to be.
Pub more.
Has to be.
Dramatic, man. That was a journey.
Man, I'm gonna get real theological on y'all. I think we're all a little soft and misunderstood. I'll just be real honest.
Let's get Luke Combs. I was begging for Luke Combs not too long ago. We'll get Luke Combs on here. I challenge Luke. I think I can actually beat him in shotgunning a beer. So if he thinks he's got the cojones to come on and try, then by all means, Luke, bring it on.
That's the intro. You just hit my promo for me, James. I love it. Episode 166. I've got to do a new intro video and outro video. RIP to Tim. But with us, we got Big Keith Devontae in the house, baby. This is basically his job interview. If he does good, then he just replaces Tim, and then we just forget about Tim, and life's good. No, I'm just kidding. This is going to be good, and I'll always Preacher Man Fitzsimmons there having a little late night snack dinner and doing the pot at the same time. The grind don't stop for him.
Don't stop.
All right. Well, we get the blind top 5. Keith, I don't know if you've got a chance to see this or not, but basically, I'm gonna give us a category. I'm gonna give you one name at a time, and you've got to rank it without knowing the next thing that's coming. All right. So we call it the blind top 5.
Okay, I'm with it.
And this week, I know Keith, he likes to dabble a little wrestling. Was hoping to have Devin on here, but that's all right. He's just visiting Tim in the afterlife. So we're doing blind top 5 pro wrestlers. All right, Fitz, I can't remember. I don't think you're much of a big wrestler fan, so this might be a true blind list for you, but we'll see. Number 1, going the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
And we just say Ric Flair rank without knowing this person, right?
That's right. Where are you gonna drop him?
I'll put him at 3 off the strength of North Carolina. I kind of want to do it lower, but you know, that's the culture right there. Rick is the culture. Like what we know now for being flamboyant, that is Ric Flair. It's 100%. In the name.
Yeah.
So I'll go 3.
Man, I recognize the name, so that's a perk. I don't really know what he's attributed with, and I should know. I feel like there's like the Ric Flair, like the dance or something.
Yeah, the Ric Flair drip, like Devontae was saying, just like real flashy. It's Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing.
Yeah, well, it stinks. I've got some guys in mind, and I'm gonna hope you put him up there. I'm gonna put Ric Flair at number 4. He's gonna be my 4.
All right, number 4. All right, next up, kind of going more modern day, Mr. John Cena. Can't see me.
Man, I'll go John Cena number 4 because I'm not gonna lie. For a while, the rap thing got kind of corny, and then of course did. And I remember when he first came out. Like, I remember that. Like, he wasn't anything about that. He looked like a modern day wrestler. Like, he looked like a wrestling coach, actually. I do remember that. And then the next day, he got like a big ass G-Unit chain and like had a whole music video and everything. And so, like, yeah, I'll go with 4. John Cena isn't corny just because he's a good person. But, like, yeah, that kind of threw me off with the big jean shorts. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, he is corny, you know. But I don't know if that hurts him. Maybe it hurts him of being like one of the top tier guys. I'll actually put him ahead of Ric Flair. I'll put him at 3. I do think John Cena is like he is a face of WWE. You can think of the time is now. I mean that's pretty iconic. It's corny, but I think it works.
Yeah. He's internationally. Y'all see that it was a video of some leaders in Africa, like he amped up his entire people off John Cena and some confetti. So like that says something. I can't put him at 5 for that reason. So
yeah,
he's also got the Scooby Doo crossover.
Yeah,
so, what else? That works for him.
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I think he's in that too, man.
He is. Yeah, so
wild. Yeah, I love it. All right, the other half of the Brothers of Destruction, Kane.
Ooh. Yeah, I'll go with 5. Bro used to scare me. I'm not gonna hold you. Kane used to scare me, and like I didn't think he was one of those wrestlers where I didn't think he would ever die. So they used to scare me. But he was also, for a while, in my mind, in my young 8-9-year-old mind, that man was like the LeBron of wrestling because he just couldn't be the Miami LeBron of wrestling because he could not be stopped, man. He just was so big and strong and dead. So like you couldn't kill him, man. Then he took off the mask, and I feel like the powers went away with the mask, but also it might have been old age. But yeah, I'll put Kane at 5.
See, I don't know this guy. This seems like a poor man's Undertaker, and I don't like that.
He was Undertaker's brother.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like that. He's 5 for me. He's 5.
All right. This was my personal favorite growing up as a kid, but I was a WCW kid. Later on, he transitioned over to the WWE. Sting, the Stinger.
I'm going with 2. That man, he was pretty cool. Just looking at him being weird, the whole like looking. He did the thing where like he used to hide in the rafters, right?
Yeah.
See, like also I didn't watch the WCW too much growing up, but I do remember just like the white and black and like the all black and stuff, the sort of Chris Angel thing he had going. So just off of him being a little bit more cooler than Ric Flair, I'll give him number 2 spot.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I don't know this guy either, but I got to put him at 2. It's kind of funny. This seems like the opposite of John Cena. Like John Cena's going for like just cool and maybe athletic and tough, where this guy's just going for like creepy or weird. And maybe that's like the extremes of wrestling.
Yeah, and like Sting used to be bleach blonde hair, surfer boy, painted the face, bright colors, and then like the NWO Hulk Hogan came in, and so he adopted the Crow Sting, which is based off the movie The Crow, and then he came to the silent leader. So it is pretty opposite of John Cena. He's definitely not going to rap. All right.
Yeah, so 2 for me.
Here we go. Last but not least, The Rock.
Oh, that's a solid one.
Yeah, that's a solid one. The Rock. He had so many personalities before, like all those different names, like Rocky Maivia and probably something else. But like, I know how I said Ric Flair was the culture, but The Rock. So many people got in trouble with doing the people's elbow on trampolines growing up. And now, like, this man is a modern day hero. Like, he's up there with, actually, no, he's past up this. He's who John Cena is striving for right now as it comes to, like, being a superhero to the kids and the adults who saw them as superheroes at one point.
I like that.
Yeah. That's a solid number 1. Solid actor. You know, somebody, I saw a tweet the other day. They said it was like one of those memes where somebody had a gun to their head and they were like, name a movie where The Rock wasn't getting shot at or wasn't in a jungle. And I had to think about it. The only one I could think about was that movie, The Game Plan, the Disney movie. I'm pretty sure. Because he's in the jungle, technically. But yeah.
Oh, man.
Solid number 1 right there.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he's number 1 in terms of meme material, I think, on this list. I was hoping for someone I could name their move, like Tombstone, associated with Taker, or Sweet Chin Music. Who's that?
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels. Like, I was like, if I know their move, I feel like that puts them in number 1. But I don't know. I don't know wrestling enough, so I didn't know any of these guys.
That's all right. I figured you were going to struggle a little bit, but overall, I think both of you did really good on your list there. Keith, shout out to you. First time. Usually, I get people where I drop a good one first, and they put them like 1 or 5, and then it just gets really shitty after that. So you did a good job playing it even.
You forgot, man. I'm a hater at heart, so I can't get.
That's right. Yeah,
from the jump.
I love that. All right, let's move to a little NFL. Speaking of haters, if you're a New York hater, this might make you sick. Mr. Dalvin Cook, baby. He's wearing the green, part of the green machine. Aaron Rodgers, he joins them. Sauce Gardner. This running back room is nice. Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, enough said. you handcuff these guys. This is a bad look for defenses because now you got to play 8 or 9 in the box. Good luck stopping Rodgers with 9 in the box. It ain't happening. If this works out, yes, it's 1 year, $8 million. That's a lot of money. If it works out, genius.
I don't know. That's a full running back room to begin with, because remember it was Breece Hall, and then it was Bam Knight.
Oh, Bam Knight, yeah.
And then it was Michael Carter from UNC.
Mm-hmm.
Then they drafted your boy out of Pittsburgh. Yeah, Pittsburgh. Israel. I forgot what his last name
Good luck
is.
pronouncing that. Yeah.
Yeah, Ebenezer or something like that. But it's so it's a stacked running back room, and it kind of makes sense because Breece Hall is coming off an injury. Dalvin Cook is coming off an injury. So either way, more than likely throughout the season, one of them is going to get injured again. So it's like, I'm here. Then that person's going to get injured, and he was like, I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
He still got like change of pace backs in between. So it's like, I hate it for Madden fans and Madden players too. But I want to see how it's going to work out in real life too. I just hate the fact that like it happened, you know?
Yeah.
We all thought he was going to the Dolphins,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess they weren't trying to pay as much as the Jets somehow were able to, some of that mafia money. So we'll see.
That sanitation money. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do think that was the piece that was a little concerning for the Jets, is you were wondering how are they going to get the run game. I mean, I know like Breece Hall like looks strong, but there was that feeling of like, yeah, I don't know if it's enough. But this, I don't know. This makes it maybe a complete backfield, a complete team. It's almost like it reminds me of like Philly just getting Swift was like a huge ordeal where it's like they were already stacked, but then you add Swift in the mix, and it's like, oh man, they're going to be able to utilize him. So I think it's a great landing spot for Cook. I already had the Jets going 13-4, like before this, and now I'm like, I don't know, can the Bills beat them at all? So it's interesting. No, I think the Jets are definitely a team that if they're being slept on, I think at this point, maybe it's not as much.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. You know, you look at the Jets defense, they rank second in points allowed per game from last year and fourth in yards per game. Their defense is solid.
Yeah. And credit to
the
coach. I mean, they got the defensive coordinator of the Niners, which was huge. I thought that was like the coach everyone should have been going after.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we all agreed on that. Yeah.
And so that in itself was big. And now they're building their offense with, Hall of Fame quarterback and, Dalvin Cook, he's an all-pro running back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he was ever named first team all-pro, but should be if he hasn't.
He's always a sleeper. I feel like this is the first time Aaron Rodgers has had a team built around him, just because with the Packers, he just always had Devontae Adams. But everybody else, Jordy Nelson, and then all those old heads retired or like moved on elsewhere. And then he just sort of had to make do with what he had. Like he actually made players. And it's interesting because because Lazard signed to the Jets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like whatever player
there's like 8 Packers in New York right now.
And all those receivers, he has them like all young receivers plus Randall Cobb whenever he sees fit to touch the field. And then not to mention like a defense to fall back on just in case he's seeing the man in the hat again. So he'll be all right, man. 13-4 might be nasty for the Jets, but I can see it. I can see it for sure.
I can too, and the only weak spot is the O-line. But you got Rodgers and Hackett as your OC. They're going to find ways to make this thing work. Jets winning that division, those odds just skyrocketed easily in my book. It's scary offense. Let's talk about another running back that's on the move here. He signed 1 year, $6 million. He's going to go to the Patriots way. He's going up to Bill Belichick. Zeke got a fresh cut. Don't know if you saw it. He no longer has a long hair. He's got the waves going on, short. This might be an old Zeke. And we've seen this work and we've seen this not work, where players go to New England on a 1 year contract and they either blossom or it just doesn't work. It's a 50-50 game. I'm not as excited about this as it was Dalvin Cook, But I think Patriot fans should be excited. Something that potentially could be pretty big for you guys. Thoughts from you all?
I think it'll work.
Yeah.
Going between who is it, Ramondre Stevenson and him, and I forgot the other ones, but something I saw, they said that the Patriots don't necessarily invest in players, because if you look back, the last player they really invested in was Tom Brady. So
Yes.
they give all these players 1-year deals, and then if they actually end up being good, they get another 1-year deal until they deserve an extension. So with that in mind, like, it'll be interesting to see what type of Belichick magic can happen with Zeke. Because he can still catch passes, which, you know, that'll do. But it'll be interesting to see what type of handcuff he'll be to Stevenson.
Yeah.
Or
Pierre Strong.
if he can actually play second. I know he kind of did it with the Cowboys, but with Ramondre Stevenson being the type of running back he is, they being sort of similar, I wonder how it's going to work. Because he's not necessarily a change of pace. So how many carries are going to get?
I've been waiting for a bounce back from Zeke for, I feel like, the past 3 years. I'm like, he's going to have his resurgence. He's going to have his bounce back year. And I don't know, Tony Pollard's a great back and probably interfered with that, especially this past year. Tony Pollard clearly became the guy. But I didn't think Zeke was bad. I thought he did the most he could with his carries. Was he explosive? No, he wasn't like rookie Zeke, which is weird that it feels like Zeke's best year was his rookie year, or like a few years after that. But I don't know. Could he be kind of their nose for the end zone guy? I think it helps to have leadership on it feels like a young Patriots team ever since Brady's been out. It's just a younger group of guys, especially on the offensive end. So I think that helps. And still waiting for a resurgence. So I don't know. I'm predicting 800 yards, 6 TDs. Is that
All your shot. I like it. I think it's
is that
fair.
possible?
I think it's definitely fair.
That sounds like Zeke numbers, like now Zeke numbers. So if that's like what. That's a positive. Like, that's what him getting back to himself would look like.
Yeah,
absolutely. And let's not forget, this is a Patriots team that has quarterback issues. Mac Jones, they're not completely sold on. Is it zippy? Like, they're going to rely on that running game, I think. And so Zeke's going to get his touches. I like that take, Fitz. All right. Let's talk about some AFC odds. Next week, we'll do NFC odds. All right. So I know both of you guys are NFC guys. I was hoping to have Devin here, another AFC guy, who kind of balanced it out. But I'm excited to get you all's non-biased AFC odds here. Okay, we're going to go division by division. I'll give you what Vegas has. You tell me if you buy or sell it, okay? So let's start with the West. All right. Looking at it, you've got Chiefs minus 180, Chargers plus 300, Broncos plus 600, and fourth plus 1,700, the Raiders. We buy and sell on these odds. What looks good? What are you betting on? What's your predictions?
I'm going to be honest. I would like to see the Chargers and Broncos odds switched up. I mean, obviously, we know the Chiefs are going to take over, especially now with like the sleeper picks they got in the draft. I think, what's brother's name? Rashee Rice. Kadarius Toney got a year to get his mind right. He played in the Super Bowl. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on his last leg, so maybe he snapped this season. We don't know. And it's just the Chiefs in general. But when it comes to the Broncos, Russell Wilson didn't show much in that preseason game. But one thing that will not change is Patrick Surtain Jr. And now I want to see, like, now that Javonte Williams is supposed to be healthy, I just want to see what else they can do. I feel like there's a lot that they can carry on through defense. Now, when it comes to the Chargers, I mean, they did all right last year, but I don't know. I'm not really seeing it for them because they have 3 of the same wide receivers. Quentin Johnson is basically Mike Williams to me, so I don't really see them changing that much.
Man, see, it's funny. The Chargers are like my sneaky Super Bowl pick. I think the Chargers could be loaded. Like, defensively, they're stacked, and they've been stacked. And offensively, I mean, I do think Herbert he's improving each and every year. I'm guessing he could be on the verge of an MVP type year. I think like if they're successful, I think he could put up numbers and be in the conversation. Eckler is insane. Their receivers are great. Schedule wise, I think they get a little bit easier look than the Chiefs do. It's like 3 games. I think there's like a 3-game difference. The Chiefs have 3 dogs, and the Chargers kind of have 3 should be cake matchups. So I actually have the Chargers winning the division by a game.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, the Chiefs will obviously be very good. But I don't know. Just as a sneaky pick, I think the Chargers are a little bit better than maybe they're getting credit for.
Yeah, the injuries for the Broncos worry me. You know, you lose Tim Patrick with the torn Achilles, and then I think Judy's limping around a little bit. Pat is injured a little bit on the defense side. Like there's some injuries there that I think could hinder this team. I love the Chargers. Now, no disrespect for Jalen Verge, friend of the show. I think Raiders will be better than the Broncos this year. I think it goes 1-2, Chiefs, Chargers by a game, half a game, and then Raiders, Broncos. I don't know. I'm not buying the hype in the Broncos yet.
Yeah.
But Keith, maybe you're right. Maybe we wind this clock back in December and I go, damn it, I'm an idiot.
This may sound crazy, but I think the Broncos' success has to do with Jerry Jeudy.
Ooh, I like that.
I was convinced Jeudy was going to be like basically like what Justin Jefferson is doing, just like a guy who's unguardable, just does the route trees like nobody else. And Jeudy hasn't really done that. And granted, he didn't have a quarterback till last year. He had Russell, but then Russell, they didn't do anything. So now this year with Sean Payton coaching, you got Russell for a second year. I'm curious, like if Jeudy gets going and he's the guy, I think the Broncos could be dangerous. But if Judy's still not, if he's not in it like this year, like he's done. And the Broncos they're not doing anything.
I mean, we have seen what Sean Payton has done with wide receivers, like turn Michael Thomas into the sling. So we'll see what he can do with the full route tree. But that was something I've been thinking about. Like, even though I said that, I still kind of believe what I said. But now is the time to see whether it was Hackett messing up the Broncos offense or was it Russ messing up the Broncos offense. And I'm kind of excited to see it because it's like, are you going to fake the funk and like let Peyton talk dirty about another man, or are you going to like fold and prove the other man right? So it's going to be a little drama in the NFL somewhat.
I like that. Yeah. Any storyline, I'm here for it. Bulletin board material. All right, let's move on to the South. AFC South. Jaguars, minus 155, one of 2 teams besides the Chiefs that have the minus in front of them. Titans, plus 310. Texans, plus 1,000. And then Colts, plus 550. How do we feel about these odds?
I actually agree this time. AFC South is kind of nasty. I did like what I saw in the Texans as far as preseason and as far as all the moves they made. I don't know if this is the year that they can make the jump, but I think this is the year they'll actually be worth watching. As far as the other odds, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. All of them feel kind of equal, and it's just the Jaguars are a little bit ahead. I don't know about Derrick Henry. I think he'll have a better year than he did last year, but I don't know. Can he carry the entire team again this year with the AFC South actually being sort of competitive? We don't know. But I do see the Jaguars winning the AFC South again. Trevor Lawrence revenge tour.
It's close. I mean, it's gonna be Titans and Jags, and it's close. I mean, it's gonna come down to the last week. Like I think it has the past couple years in the AFC South. Like it's just come down to the last week. I would actually take the Titans. I think Vrabel is one of the better head coaches in the league. I just don't think he's found his quarterback. I think that's what's holding them back from being like they've been successful with Tannehill. But it's like if they got their guy, they're like their real guy, they could go on a run. So that's what's holding them back. But I still think they'll be good on, you got Derrick Henry, you got a good defense, you got a good head coach. So yeah, I'll take the Titans.
This is interesting to me. We talked about the Jets, or I talked about the Jets O-line being the question mark here. Titans O-line was by far the worst part of that Titans offense. Way worse than Tannehill, way worse than anything else, play calling or anything. They blew it up. They got rid of 4 out of the 5. Now it's a whole brand new O-line. We'll see if that change works for Rabes. I don't know. I love the way Anthony Richardson played preseason week 1. I know. Love the way he balled out, though. I think they found their guy. Obviously, they're going to make him starter going forward. They just announced today. I like it. CJ Stroud still has some growing pains to do, but it's preseason. It's rookie. I get it. I'm saying Colts are going to sneak up and win this thing.
No.
I'm calling it. I don't know. That's my sleeper. That's my dark horse.
Richardson needs a year, I think.
Well, who they pick up? They still had Jonathan Taylor, but did they pick up another?
Yeah. They picked. I'm looking it up now. I totally spaced on it. We got Kenyon Drake, Zach Moss.
Was it Kareem Hunt?
He went to a visit there.
Oh, he went to a visit. Okay.
Yeah.
But even still, I like his receiver weapons. And then I don't know if the Colts have ever had a running back like Anthony Richardson. Like Andrew Luck had the size, but Anthony Richardson has arm on him. And then I know in a couple of plays you saw how Josh Downs can take the top off along with the other 2 receivers they had.
Yeah.
So I think they put it a little bit together better this year. So I can see what you're saying. The other 2, I saw a stat with the Titans. There one lineman, Nicholas Pettit-Frere, who's I think was a rookie last year. Man got blown up for like 3 sacks or something. I felt so bad. Your boy Taylor Lewin, man, he left the heart and soul in shambles.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And technically he was released, I guess. I think they're in a rebuilding stage. I'm not sure if I'm buying the Titans, but it's all right. All right, let's move on. Let's go to the East here. Fitz's boy.
Oh, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Bills still lead this division at plus 120 as of today. Jets right behind him at plus 250. Dolphins plus 290. Patriots plus 800. How do we feel here?
It's a little bit more competitive. This is. I'm not gonna lie. Even with everybody's weapons, and even though Aaron Rodgers, it's still kind of hard because one thing that I've noticed consistently the whole time while watching football, AFC East has some scrappy people on defense. So it's like, how can you pick apart each defense?
Yeah, exactly.
But it'll be exciting to watch. I got to think about this one.
It's tough.
Well, see, I got Jets going 14-3. 13-4. Maybe Dalvin gives them an extra win. No, I do think Rodgers, he's my prediction to be, if not Justin Herbert, I think it could be Rodgers for MVP. If not either of them, probably Joe Burrow, Hacky. But no, I think it's going to be a QB out of AFC for sure. But I like the Jets. I just think all around they're sitting on a good team. I don't know how deep they go in the postseason. I think they have a great regular season. I think they could get tripped up in the playoffs by somebody. But as far as winning the division, I think it's theirs. And Bills are good too. I think actually all 4 of those teams could be right there in the hunt. So
yeah. I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna buy the Bills. I'm not Josh Allen truther. I don't wish the Madden curse on him at all, but like I said before with the defense, that defense has been locked. Well, they lost Tremaine Edmonds in the middle, but they still had Matt Milano. They still had their defensive line and things like that. this is a coming out show for James Cook, and now that his brother's playing in the same conference, that might be that's another storyline to watch.
Funny.
Like, which Cook brother is gonna take their team to the conference finals or whatever. As far as like, I know with the Dolphins, they're gonna kill each team with speed.
Yeah.
But it can only go as far as everyone is healthy, specifically the quarterback. And then I don't know. I think Bills can carry it. Like I wasn't necessarily surprised they got as far as they did last year, but the Bills have been, as a whole, they've been too close for so long. So I might as well just say, like, yeah, they'll make the playoffs again just because. Now, after that, I don't know, but they're going to make it.
Yeah. This is a big question mark for me. I don't know. You got Tua that, thank God he's got 3 letters in his name. He can spell them. But he takes one more hit. I don't know. Like, it's rough. And there's been some footage of practice, and Keith will tell you, we coached together. You can't base things off practice. Some things just get fucked up, and it just happens.
Or even talking to him.
Yeah. Like, but Tua is the big question mark. Now, the backup, Big Mike White, is the backup coming from the Jets. He's behind enemy lines. Maybe he gives them some insight. There could be some insider trading. Who knows?
No chance.
But
No chance, dude.
what worries me is I think the Bills or my Bengals will fall off this year. I think it's bound to happen. So I'm going to say Bills fall off. Give me the Jets to win this division. All right. Speaking of my Bengals, AFC North. Bengals are a plus 150 favorite, followed by the Ravens plus 210, Browns plus 400, Steelers plus 470. What do you guys say?
Never thought I'd see the day where these odds would be that close either, but it makes sense. You're gonna be mad at me, but honestly, I think I might have the Steelers on this one.
Really? Going Pittsburgh.
Now that you mentioned, like, you think it's the Bengals or Bills that will fall off inevitably. With, I don't know, with that happening, if that happens, the Steelers have always been fairly consistent. They always had that 8-8. Last year they went 8-9 or 9-8. Either way, they stayed consistent. They stayed middle of the road. Their quarterback somewhat got it together. He's still not there yet. George Pickens finally, he wasn't bad at all. Najee Harris can only get better, and then they've gotten their defense back together. Now, as far as all the other teams, defense has always been a thing with the AFC North, but I don't know, man. Your Bengals might fall off somehow. I don't see it happening, but I kind of see it happening just because of your boy Joe Burrow's early injury. I don't think that carries through, but somehow something. I don't wish ill on you at all, but like, I don't know. You shouldn't have put that out there, because now I'm thinking about it. Like, what if something stupid happens? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, somebody gets arrested or something crazy like that. Which that was a theory I had in mind. So my boy Dorian Thompson-Robins from UCLA has been doing pretty well in the preseason. And there's a theory that I have that somehow in the middle of the season, possibly week 9, week 10, Deshaun Watson is going to get arrested, and that's a DTR show for me. That's a theory that, like, this man is doing good. Deshaun is not, they spent all that money on Deshaun. He's obviously going to start, but I feel it in my bones. Something's going to happen where he's going to mess up again, and DTR has to carry. Keep in mind, he was kind of injury prone too.
Yeah, he was
faking that whole time. But yeah, I'm taking the Steelers on this one.
I don't, dude. DTR, that's scary. What he did at UCLA was scary. So,
yes,
I think we're going to see the best of Joe Burrow this year, and I don't know if that's just going to be just taking over games just in late situations. Like, I just think we're going to see the best of Joe Burrow. I'm excited to see him. I think he's just, like, right now entering his prime, like entering this stage of his career. He's no longer like the young kid. He's now like one of the key guys in the league. So I'm excited to see that. And I do think the Bengals will win that division, but Lamar is also due if he can stay healthy, and he hasn't struggled with injuries, but there's always that feeling. You're like, oh, he's like, is he going to be able to play 17 games out of the year? And if he's gone, they're like the Ravens. It just feels like there's no hope if Lamar's not in. But yeah, I'll take the Bengals. It's close though. I like the Steelers pick. I think Kenny Pickett. It'll be cool to see year 2 how that goes. Najee's trying to bounce back. The Steelers are one of the more exciting teams just to see that. I think they could do a lot better than people are giving them.
Mhm.
But I think you're still dealing with Bengals and Ravens. Like, come on. It's like Kenny Pickett's not going to be Lamar or Joe Burrow, you would think. Maybe he can steal one. I don't know.
Well, I will say, I'll give kudos there. Ravens have the hardest schedule of the division, ranked 21st. Bengals have 20th. Browns have 16th. Steelers have the 6th easiest schedule. So, who knows? Maybe there is some truth to it. I think we survived our drama, though, with the calf strain of Joe Burrow. I think we're good. We move on. We win our Super Bowl this year. Calling the shot right now.
Ooh.
I will say I strained my calf like 2 weeks ago, just running. I feel fine, man. I feel fine. You know, I don't have trainers and stuff. It's fine. It'll be gone in a few weeks.
Man, 2 weeks ago I caught a cramp, like waking up, and I don't know, man. My life sort of flashed by my eyes, but then I thought it went away. And you know, like once you get a cramp, and you take that other step, thinking it went away, it comes back. Bro, that's why I was like, yeah, Joe Burrow was not playing at all. He's got it now. He's still probably it's probably gonna be warm. The whole calf is gonna be warm about this season, but you know he's a trooper. I'm not, so
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Oh, I love it. All right, well, let's talk a little fantasy football here. Our fantasy football draft, boys, announcing it now, August 27th, Saturday or Sunday. Put it on your calendars. I don't have the exact time yet. I'll get that to you. But
damn, I'm gonna be flying to Minnesota, but I'll try.
What time? What time you flying in?
I think I'm flying out at like 6 p.m. I'm flying in. I'll probably get here around 8 or 9.
All right, so we're probably good. We'll do maybe early afternoon for you. Maybe we'll figure it out.
Don't worry about me.
Okay.
Nope. Siri. No, I'm not talking to you, Siri.
All right, fantasy sleepers. All right, I'm gonna put up 2 names. You guys give me whatever else you got here.
Okay.
Tyler Burks, Titans wide receiver. I think he's due for a breakout year. Even with is he gonna be Tannehill, Will Levis, whoever's gonna throw him the ball. I think he's good enough to get open. I think he's a great check down guy. He's gonna get you a lot, especially in a PPR league. Dallas Gobert. The Eagles tight end, I think Jalen Hurts loves a tight end. He loves a safety blanket. Dallas is an easy safety sleeper pick for tight end. Thoughts from you guys?
I like it. Because Traylon Burks is number 1. Yeah, he'll be the wide receiver number 1 at this. I guess I don't know. Would DeAndre Hopkins be number 1 or number 2 at this point?
You know, that's a good question. I don't know who would. I don't know.
D-Hop's higher on the
depth chart.
Oh, okay. But I guess it works out better if he's wide receiver 2 because that gets him more looks. So I can see where you're going. Dallas Goedert, yeah, he's got it. He's come through, but I don't know if it'll be one of those situations where like he automatically snaps. Like it's gonna be a build up to like week 4, and he's just gonna keep rolling. You know, a little downside for that inevitable one game that he's injured. And then he'll keep rolling up until postseason.
Yeah.
Right. So now we go with our sleepers.
Yeah.
All right. My first sleeper is going to be my boy Tyler Algier from the Falcons.
Ooh. Yeah.
Just because he put up all those crazy numbers last year, and now he's sandwiched in between the first running back taken in the draft and Cordero Patterson. But both of those, Cordero Patterson is not an every down back, and apparently, according to some of the reports, he's been working a little bit more on his receiving. And so that opens the door for Tyler Algier, who's probably going to be handcuffed to Bijan Robinson, which if Arthur Smith is smart, he won't make him every down back. Like, not necessarily every down back, but every play back. Like, every play is stuffing him because Derrick Henry is built different. And apparently we found out he's human too. So Tyler Algier has ample opportunity to me. I think he'll do more of the same that he did last year because he definitely helped me out in some of my leagues. As far as, let me see, there was somebody else. It was a rookie receiver. Oh, Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt from the Giants. That man can take the top off. And if Daniel Jones can continue to stretch the plays like he has been doing it, honestly, I forgot. I think it's Isaiah Hodgins. So there's ample opportunity for Jalen Hyatt to move up the depth chart for the Giants anyway. So I'm seeing it for him. So that's my sleepers. Tyler Algier from the Falcons and Jalen Hyatt from the Giants.
I like those.
Yeah, I gotta go by position. My quarterback, I got Aaron Rodgers. He's like the 15th quarterback on here. I just think you can get, if you're like in a 2 QB league like me, I'll probably take one of those guys early, but then, snag Aaron Rodgers late. Like, just let every other guy, like, be like, oh, I'm taking Matt Stafford. Oh, I'm taking Dak Prescott. Let him go. And then bank on getting Rodgers late. I think everyone's sleeping on him. He can.
I think most people would draft Rodgers before Stafford and Dak.
Like you said, sleeper. I thought people were gonna. I would think.
15. Geno Smith is ahead of Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh, that's a wild list.
Kirk Cousins is ahead of Aaron Rodgers.
Are you reading that backwards?
What about Justin
Fields? Fields is ahead. Fields is way up there.
I feel like you're reading this list backwards. This is weird.
No, it's weird. It's weird.
Terrible list. Click off that. Find a new list.
Yeah. Man, so that's QB. Running back, I was surprised. Jahmyr Gibbs for the Lions. I think as far as a rookie goes, I would be skeptical to take Robinson high just because he's going like 4th running back overall. I just think that's too high. Like, I wouldn't take him over Derrick Henry or some of these other guys. But Gibbs, he's supposedly handcuffed with David Montgomery. I think Montgomery's pretty washed. I think Gibbs could be the back, and he's going late enough that, you could probably get him like 5th, 6th round, which I just, I think that's a solid RB pick. I was trying to see if there's another running back. Dalvin Cook is low right now. I don't know if he'll move up, but that would be another one, handcuffed with Breece Hall. Alvin Kamara is another one in New Orleans. He's like number 29 running back. It's like, Alvin Kamara? Really? Same age as Christian McCaffrey and, just like, so he's right there. I think he could be primed. Again, just a late pick that if there's no one on the board, go ahead and snag Kamara a little bit. And then receiver, this one's tough. There's a lot of young guys that are kind of high up. They're higher up than I thought they would. I thought they'd be sleepers, but they're actually going higher. Like Garrett Wilson, and Chris Olave are going very early, and I thought those were 2 solid guys. But late, I touched on Jerry Jeudy. He's high risk, high reward. This is his make or break year. But I think he has the potential to be pretty good. I've always liked Deontay Johnson, good route runner. He's number 32 on the list I'm looking at right now. So they got some guys in front of him. I think Deontay Johnson is better than that. Gabe Davis is a good one. The second receiver in Buffalo. He's very I think he's a very good receiver. The Bills are going to throw the ball. Diggs is going to get a lot of attention. And Gabe Davis, he really balled out last year. And so I think he's like a solid sleeper pick that he doesn't get it. He's even just the name Gabe Davis just doesn't get a lot of love. I think he's like the Klay Thompson of the NFL. Like he's just not getting any love, and people will actually give him accolades in a couple years. But Gabe Davis, very good receiver. That's probably my best sleeper.
Hey, Christian Watson, your boy. I like him. I think he's a good sleeper pick too.
I like him too, and I wasn't going to touch on Packers. You know, I think Jordan Love
Way to keep your
could
bias
also
out of
be. I think Jordan Love could also be a solid QB.
I'd say Love might be more of a sleeper than Rodgers.
I'd take a chance on Love, like if no one's going to draft him in some leagues. So
I thought about it. I know just watching him, he was when the few games he did get in, he wasn't bad. It's just like why do that when you have Aaron Rodgers? You know.
Yeah.
There's you were talking about. I think you didn't say the tight ends, but there are a lot of like rookie tight ends. They came in by the boatload this year, so it's kind of
they did.
It's a lot of sleep. It's gonna be a lot of sleepers.
Yeah, sleeper tight ends are hard to find. I'll be honest. I've tried. The only one I can ever think of was who was the Broncos tight end with Peyton Manning when he got there.
Oh, Julius Thomas.
Julius Thomas. That's like the only time I can think of like a real like tight end sleeper who ended up just like breaking onto the scene that year.
I'm going to give you one. Friend of the show, Isaiah Likely.
Yes, sir.
Ravens. He backs up Heath Andrews, but man, when he comes in, he produces.
Heath Andrews. Heath Andrews.
Mark Andrews. Sorry. Mark Andrews.
That's how it showed that Heath Miller was a combination.
A little combo. All right. Let's go. I've got a bone to pick with you, Fitz.
Okay.
Fantasy stayaways. The number one running back I have on my list.
Do not.
Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara? You kidding me?
Stay away from him. Josh Jacobs. Anybody that's really going through that contract, Fred Taylor. I'm worried about it. They're worried about the bag, and I get it. They deserve to get paid. But especially Alvin Kamara, Josh Jacobs, based off production from last year, and then now you add another drama to it, I'm staying away from these guys. The other person I have, Terry McClure. It's not because of him.
Yeah.
Look at that O-line. Look at that quarterback.
Yeah, I know. And I love Terry McLaurin. Yeah. I have drafted Terry. I've drafted Terry McLaurin, I think 3 straight years. And he just doesn't get it done. And
it's not his fault.
Yeah, I know. He's a great receiver. This is why I hate fantasy football sometimes. Is people are like, oh, Terry sucks. I'm like, he's a great receiver.
Yes.
He's just stuck. He's
got fucking stuck. Sam Howell and Jake Fromm.
I know.
Give him a break.
Wasn't Jacoby? Jacoby's second.
Yeah. Brissett's the
that's better,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's true.
Fromm is quarterback 3?
Yeah, he's QB3.
That's nasty. That's crazy. Ugh. Can't do it. All right. I'm going to do the same thing you did with the quarterback, running back, wide receiver.
Yeah.
All right. So quarterback-wise, I'm going – I feel like it'll be tempting, but Jared Goff. Because of all the weapons that he had with Jamo coming back.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He's still Jared Goff. And it's going to be highs and there's going to be lows, like 1 point lows. So I wouldn't do it. Running back wise, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I would be leery of Dalvin Cook because I feel like Breece Hall is going to pick up from where he left off and he's going to carry. And now Dalvin Cook could get those maybe third down looks, but where Breece Hall left off when he was injured, he kind of was an every down back. So hopefully he'll be healthy enough to carry like that. So that's also we forget about the kind of tight running back room there already is. So wide receivers. I'm gonna go with. I got to go with my own. I got to go with Mac Hollins. Mac Hollins carried a little bit for the Raiders. I do not see him doing that for the Falcons. He could surprise me, and I hope to God he surprises me, but I'm not seeing it. But I will say, like, I think he put on a little bit more muscle. Bro is like walking around without shoes, and apparently that strengthens ankles or something. And he's just like regularly weird. I don't know. don't know. I'm not seeing it for him in fantasy this year. And then tight ends. I'm gonna go. God, I forgot who else is a tight end in the league besides Travis Kelce. To be honest, tight ends.
Mark Andrews, Hawkinson, Kittle,
Yeah.
Kyle
Shoot,
Pitts.
I might go with. You know what? I'm gonna go with Hawkinson, T.J. Hawkinson.
Big Hawk.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with T.J. Hawkinson. He didn't really show a lot last year when he made that move. Maybe they figured out a way to work him more into the offense, but you know, you got Jettas on the team, and now granted, they're still working out things as far as their running back room. They're trying to work Alexander Madison into a running back one, but I think they're pretty set on receivers. They're pretty set on defense. I don't know if Hawkinson can stretch the field like he used to because of all those leg mishaps, but we'll see. So yeah, you got Hawkinson, Mac Hollins, Dalvin Cook, and Jared Goff.
Man. The Hawk, man, that's a hot take. Your other picks, I'm with you. Maybe it's just like the sympathetic Lions and like love I have for Tim and bad franchise. I have like the love I have for him, but man, all right. Maybe there's some money in that.
I feel like I've got hot takes on who to stay away from.
I think
Like,
we've all
why-
had hot takes here, which is good.
I mean, wide receiver, I'd stay away from CeeDee Lamb. Not to
Yeah.
say like
You
if
were-
he
you
falls
On that one.
like CeeDee Lamb, like if he falls in the draft, I would take him.
Mhm.
But like where he's going, I wouldn't take him. Like as your second pick, no. It's like don't take. It's like don't take CeeDee Lamb,
Right.
second or third round. I kind of feel the same way about like Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill.
Mm.
I don't know. I just it's like Tyreek going number 2 on this list. It's Jefferson
believe
and
it?
Tyreek.
You're not liking it?
I'd rather take Cup. I'd rather take Diggs. I'd rather take Devontae Adams over Tyreek Hill. And I know it's exciting. It's exciting to have Tyreek Hill. He's got that big play. I don't know. I think I'm more of like it's like I want that solid QB like Diggs. I know he's got Josh Allen throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
And I mean Tua is just kind of like I don't
Oh.
know. It's like night and day, you know.
You don't like the big white hope?
I don't know. Running back, I don't know. It just running back's tough because you know, like a couple of those guys are going to get hurt at the beginning of the year, so it's just tough. But some of those guys, they should be good. Jonathan Taylor does make you a little. There's a little concern there. Saquon, you never know. I drafted Saquon last year just based on where he was going. I was like, Saquon's going in the 3rd round. I'll take Saquon.
Yeah.
So it's all about. I think it's more about like who's going when. Like I'd rather take a chance on a guy, like 3rd, 4th round, rather than my 1st, 2nd pick. I want to feel pretty solid about my first picks.
Right. No, I agree with you. Well, let's go on to those kind of solid picks, and this is more mid-round solid picks, kind of must-haves, and this is more categories for me. If you guys got particular players, feel free. But must-haves, I've got Breece Hall, T. Higgins pulled up on the screen. It's not necessarily them; it's their type of team. Breece Hall is paired up with Dalvin Cook, and then Michael Carter, and that running back room is deep. He's going to get touches. He's going to find ways to get open and find him some way to break out of that stable. I like guys like Breece Hall on a team. T. Higgins, he's not the number 1 guy. He's a 2 or 3 option, and he's going to get his touches. I mean, for the past 3 years I've drafted T. Higgins. He's not disappointed me. It's been great just because, yeah, he might not score a lot of touchdowns, but he's getting a lot of receptions. He's getting a lot of yards. That produces in fantasy. Thoughts for you guys?
Yeah, you pulled up the Breece Hall pick. I know for me, I was just thinking off the top of my head as far as must-have, tight end Kyle Pitts.
Ooh, yes.
Coming off an injury. as a fan, I feel bad, but it completely like went over my head that despite the Falcons sucking and going through the whole league drama, still going 7-9. Kyle Pitts was a rookie tight end with a little over 1,000 yards with agent Matt Ryan. So he's coming back from injury. I'm damn near expecting him to be wide receiver number 1 at this point. Drake London's still good, but like Kyle Pitts is probably going to be first option. So that's probably a sleeper that should be a must-have. Matter of fact, wide receiver wise, I don't know. That's a tough call. Probably, should we say Cooper Kupp? I mean, like he's coming off an injury, so I don't know if he's going to be like who he was before. But if it's a PPR league, he's probably going to get the looks. And I don't know who else they're going to throw to now that they don't have. Was it Allen Robinson? Yeah, he's gone. So that's one. Running back. That's going to be tough. Running back is going to be tough. But I don't know. I'm a give a hot take. I'm going to say Jahmyr Gibbs. You said he was handcuffed to David Montgomery. David Montgomery isn't really that consistent, and he's like a one-cut back. Jahmyr Gibbs can catch passes, and he can do what he does on the field. So I think that's another sleeper. That's a must-have.
Yeah.
Quarterback, going with Justin Fields. That boy can ball.
Yeah.
He'll do more of the same this year, too.
And don't wait to pull the trigger on Gibbs. I think that's one everyone's going, oh, he'll be there. He'll be there late. And, you know, he's one I would feel good about. Again, people are saying it's a handcuff. It's not a handcuff. Mm-hmm. It's going to be Gibbs after like week 4. I think my must-have, as far as receivers go, I mean, this is like, there's like some late must-haves. Gabe Davis has to be. He's in my must-have. I hyped him up. I love him. There was one I was just looking at. I would say like Adam Thielen or Odell Beckham, just in the sense that I could see one of them kind of having like, you know, not like a crazy year, but enough to be like pretty sufficient off the bench in your fantasy team. And those guys are going late. Those guys are going to be going when people are picking defenses and thinking about picking a kicker. So it's like, oh, I'll take ODB. Why not? You know, he could break out, and probably Odell, just in the sense of he's the guy. He could be the guy in Baltimore, and you know, with Mark Andrews, you know, at tight end, Odell's probably the deep threat for Lamar that I would take a chance that he's going that late. And then Thielen, you know, that he would be the security blanket for Young. The problem with that is, again, it's the whole quarterback situation. I trust Lamar. I don't know how I feel about Bryce Young. But either of those could be solid guys.
Yeah.
And then, running backs this year, it's hard. I don't really have I don't know that I have a must-have running back. It might be Dalvin Cook right now. I'm riding that. I'm on the bandwagon for that.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
And it's tough to say must-have.
QB obviously Aaron Rodgers. I gotta have it. If he's going that low and I miss it somehow, I'm gonna be kicking myself.
Yeah. It's tough to do must-haves because it all depends on where you draft at, what your draft order is, how many teams you're. So that's why, you know, categories kind of work, and you guys both killed it, which good job.
mean, must-have Justin Jefferson if he's there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like I would
and if
say,
not,
like,
you have to have Jamar Chase, right?
Like if I'm sitting at like, you know, if it's one of those crazy drafts like where I'm picked 6 or 7, and it's just like running back, quarterback, running back, and like Jefferson's there. Oh, it's like,
dude, you pull the trigger.
Easy. It's like easy money.
Yeah.
No way that's happening.
Let's stay with NFL and a little bit. This is more drama field. The blind lie? Question mark. Don't know if you guys saw this. Michael Orr made the movie The Blind Side about it. turns out never adopted him. They just gave what's the word?
Conservatorship or something.
Conservatorship. Yes, exactly. That they basically signed when he was 18, and then they cashed out their deal for what Michael Orr says was the movie deal. Family says no, it was the book deal, and then someone bought the book deal from that company, and they didn't get any profit from the money. But Michael Orr is basically pissed that he's not getting any revenue from the movie. The family saying, nope, we didn't get any money. This is going to get ugly. It's going to get bad. It came out today that the family said Michael Orr tried to shake them down for $15 million. I have a lot of questions. I don't know who to believe, honestly. Michael Orr stayed away from this movie. He said it made him look bad, and it took all this time for now this stuff to come out. It's not a good look for Michael Orr, but at the same time, I could see some fucked up rich people doing this just to get even richer. So, like, I see both sides of it. I don't know who to believe. If the movie's a lie, poor Sandra Bullock, because she made us fall in love with this fucking family.
Yeah.
God.
I don't know. I was skeptical the whole time.
But
Yeah.
like I swear there was something a while back, like right when the movie dropped, like Michael Orr came out and said there was an interview. He said, like, no, I knew how to play football before.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't like dumb and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Also, SJ wasn't that damn young. Like SJ was like in middle school or something. They just
12 or
added
13, yeah.
immediate effect. But the one thing that I can think about, like on the way home, I saw the thing where they said Michael Orr was trying to shake him down, and all I can think about was like boosters. Like now, before we had all this NIL money and everybody getting commercials and stuff, they were paying these kids under the table. Not as much as they should have, but they were paying them, and they can't lie and say they didn't because Johnny Manziel told them everybody. That's beside the point. So I remember thinking, like, I bet the Tuohys were thinking, because they were rich before this, they didn't have to do this. And I wonder if they were thinking, like, if we land this guy to come to Ole Miss is going to be as good as we think they are. And we can all say, like, watching those games, Ole Miss has never really been a threat. They probably have good players, but even before Michael Orr, maybe during Eli Manning's time, they were good. But like with Michael Orr and after Michael Orr, that team, like whatever those boosters have been doing for those players, like they got robbed because they didn't have anything to show for it. But the two is, I think you remember in the movie, they were like, yeah, we own several Taco Bells.
17 Taco Bells.
Yeah, something like that. And I'm pretty sure it was more, and it was probably like generational family wealth or something. And I keep thinking, like, I mean, you were a booster. You probably gave him money. You know, that's all you needed to say. Talking about we adopted him. Like, no, you gave him money. That's all it was. So, and then I keep thinking about, like, I wonder how many cases is like this for Alabama, but they don't say anything because Alabama has that whole machine, and literally the whole state of Alabama runs off of Alabama football. So they probably don't say anything. So I don't know. I personally, it's weird for me. Like, I know this is like a rehashing of the story because I've heard this before, and I can't remember how, but I've heard all of this before. And for it to come out now, I'm wondering like why and who I should believe. And like, I wonder if there's some more stuff that's going to come out, because at this point, paying players really doesn't matter at this point. We should have known better to believe all that, because I'm like, there's no way, bro.
Yeah. And you're right. The timing is what's curious about this.
I feel like I heard something too, though. Like, I feel like this leaked, like either it was like 2016 or 2017. Like, this did leak before, because I've seen this where it's like, oh, Blindside was like fabricated a little bit. Like, it's not the whole story. And I think even then it was like, oh, that doesn't surprise me. It's like, like one, classic Hollywood. Two, it's like, of course, this family like doesn't have like their hands clean. Like, it's you know, as you're dealing with money and all this stuff. But I think this is I don't know if that's how, because of the lawsuit, sometimes it lingers on like what information gets leaked. But now that you can put like, you know, $1 on it of like, oh, the family made $4.5 million and he's got no percentage from this. Like, now that there's like maybe something tangible, it's more clear. Yeah, I don't know. This sucks. It's not surprising though. I think that's what's sad about it, is we're all like, oh, of course. We're like, of course,
Yeah.
this is the real story.
Damn it, Big Mike.
Big Mike,
But yeah,
he's
yeah.
Ferdinand the Bull.
Ferdinand the Bull. That's right. All right. Well, speaking of shady NCAA and that type of stuff, real quick, if you haven't watched The Untold Truth of Johnny Manziel, watch it. It's good insight, but Johnny does not hold back and basically just dry snitches on himself. This entire doc, basically like, yeah, we took money. I signed memorabilia for money. My boy took the rap for it. He took the fall for it, and I have no regrets about it. Now, the documentary does go on and talk about mental health and what he was dealing with and that type of stuff, which I thought was pretty awesome. And kind of for someone who I shit on Manziel during his height, but I also couldn't resist doing the money sign when I scored a touchdown in intramural football. So, you know, he was cultural. And then now I look back on it like, man, he really could change the game if his mental game was right, if his mental head was right. I feel bad for him, but more importantly, he dry stitches on himself for taking money, taking bribes. Reggie Bush just put his family in a house next to USC's campus, but one of them has a Heisman, the other one doesn't. Little unfair, little unbiased. NCAA has to give Reggie Bush his Heisman back. I mean, we've talked about the NIL, we talked about college athletics. This should have been done years ago, and if it's got to be done ASAP. Reggie Bush deserves his Heisman.
Yeah. I always thought it was wild, like how they just took away the Heisman after the fact, like they didn't know.
Yeah.
And even with Manziel, there's no way, bro. There's no way they didn't know anything. Like the vetting process of the NCAA sucks. Like if this is true, like if it's true and they like, oh my God, we didn't know. There's no, I don't know, man. Cause we got to think about all these like strategically placed drug tests. We got to think about like, what was the coach's role in all of this? What was the AD's role in it? Like of course they're not going to interview all of them because like they're probably still working somewhere. But we got to think about Johnny Manziel was only 18. Of course he's going to do what 18 years. If you want to give the 18-year-old like thousands of dollars just for a signature, hell yeah, like run that. Of course he's not going to use his better mind when he has like free everything around him and free opportunity. Duh, what do you mean? So like, who are these people around him? Like besides his friend who was also 18, who are these adults around him making sure like, all right, he cool, you know, he's literally college football selling point right now. Because now that I think about it, like, I mean, he was good, but like this was during the time where like the teams in college football were like good across the board too.
Yes.
So like there were other quarterbacks that were just as good, if not better than him. Not to mention this man was throwing to Mike Evans. And people forget about that. Like Johnny Manziel was throwing to Mike Evans. Like so that money sign, 75% of that belongs to Mike Evans. So that's
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I keep thinking about that and like Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush didn't do too much wrong, and it's probably I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of messed up that it's kind of sinister that Manziel has been celebrated even when he got to the league and sucked. Like he was still kind of celebrated. Like yeah, of course he made flash and pizzazz cool somewhat, whatever they call it, but. I feel like even while watching this, like even before the documentary dropped, we knew somebody was paying this man.
Oh yeah.
He's doing it in your face, bro. And then talking about they had oil money.
That's a quick Google search.
Even like that's a Google search. That's a vetting process. Yeah. More than likely, these coaches have met his parents. I feel like there's a certain air about like rich people you will probably catch initially. Granted, it was in Texas, so maybe all the people in Texas act the same, rich or poor. Right. But come on now, there's no way. Maybe they are that stupid. I don't know. But there's no way they didn't know this. And also, even after the fact, if they did some research after the fact, like they did with Reggie Bush when he had already like been in the league, you know, did great in the league, why didn't they do that after research for Manziel? He put out a whole. I wonder if they're gonna like double back, and after this documentary drops, they're gonna try to take away his Heisman after the fact. I wonder if they can do that.
You know what I would do? I would tell Johnny exactly what I told Reggie Bush to do. Oh shit, man! I moved. I don't know where that bitch is.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Mm.
Fitz, thoughts from you real quick.
I don't know. I think they just need to move. I said it last week. They need to move all of college football, join the Live Tour. Just they've screwed up our conferences. Just go ahead and get it out of here.
Put it in Saudi Arabia.
No one's got time for it. It's
All right.
all dirty. The money's dirty. I feel for the players though. The players are the ones getting exploited.
Yeah, they do. They do. All right. Let's talk a little. We got one NBA topic real quick. One Women's World Cup. We'll do parlay, random question. We'll get out of here. So we got to talk about Keith. You're a big NBA guy. Me and Fitz we follow when it's convenient for us.
I watch NBA, dude.
Okay, whatever.
I picked the finals in October.
Yeah, you
bro.
did. That is fair. That is fair. It seems like James Harden is no longer going to be a 76er. He's no longer going to play ball in Philly. Basically calling the president of the organization a liar. You built this throne on lies, sir. Like this is – it's not good when you call the president a liar. And then he said today he's never going to play for the Philadelphia 76ers again as long as he's there. Keith, tell us what's going on here.
I don't know the ins and outs of their situation, but it was really wild. Like he just did that, wearing his Adidas in front of like a multitude of people, like he was preaching or whatever. I don't know what it is about James Harden in the offseason, but it's always some weird shit. Like
yes,
put on his fat suit again. I guess
man.
whatever. But like it's always something going on. And I remember I saw a tweet where somebody said I should have known Daryl Morey was a liar when he said that. I think they said when he said that James Harden was a better scorer than Michael Jordan. I'm pretty sure Daryl Morey said some wild shit like that.
Yeah.
He was like, we knew better than to trust him. I don't know exactly what all the ins and outs are as far as like why is Harden upset? Is he upset over some money? Is he upset that he actually has to carry a team again? I don't know. But yeah, man, I don't see it. I feel like this is just like getting people amped to James Harden probably isn't going anywhere. Daryl Morey damn sure isn't going anywhere. He's got the money, so he's not going anywhere. So I don't know. I feel like it's another Harden storyline, unless like this is to cook up another trade to where he ends up with the Suns or something stupid like that. I don't know. But it's the NBA, man. All this shit is fake. Money is fake. Like the magic is gone now. So I'm never surprised when something crazy like that happens.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think Devontae, he summed it up perfectly.
Yeah. It's probably going to be more development soon, but as
just-
of right now, James Harden is preaching to the multitudes of the evils of Daryl Morey. And so we must be there to hear the good word.
I didn't even know Daryl Morey's name before
This.
this. So wild. Yeah. I love it, Keith. All right. Last topic here. Women's World Cup. Spain's in the finals. They've clinched. They get the winner of England versus Australia. Australia is the home nation. I'm going to say my pick right here. If England wins, Spain wins the Women's World Cup. Australia wins. Home field advantage. Aussie. They get it done. Picks from you guys.
I'm not going to lie. I haven't been watching, so I'm
haven't
going
watched
to
any of it.
say it's going to end up being Spain and England. And I feel like England might steal. I don't know. I've just been seeing like how people have been down on the women's national team because of Megan Rapinoe and her downfall or whatever. So that's all I've been seeing. But like, I'm going to just throw out a wild guess and say that it's going to be Spain and England somehow steals it from Spain.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't know anything, but England-Spain sounds like a sick final. I'd probably take Spain though. I'm with you, Hacky. I think you got it. I think you got it right.
Perfect. Hey, good job, boys. All right, pub parlay. Let's make some money.
Mm.
4 weeks in a row. It's coming down to one pick. And we've blown it. Now, shout out
What
to
did we
my
miss?
bookie.
What
No
did we
free
miss?
shout outs. My bookie now has a chance for you to cash out if your parlay is hitting. So,
Ooh,
Mm.
we gotta
Tasty.
start doing that.
tasty.
Mhm.
What hit? I know I hit. I picked the Packers in that preseason.
What
over
cost
the
us was Devin's O's. It's okay. It's all right. I won't hold any grudge.
Orioles.
Yeah. All right. Let's make some money. One day I'll land one.
So close.
So anything's open for you guys. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm taking. Well, is anybody taking baseball?
Probably not.
Who's playing?
You name it, brother.
I was about to say, I usually only follow it when the Mariners are playing, and they killed me last game against the old Orioles. I don't know.
My pick, unless someone wants a baseball pick Sunday or something. My pick is I'm looking at Saturday. NFL preseason. Judge me if you want. Detroit Lions are just fucking maniacs when it comes to preseason and preseason only. Give me the Lions over the Jags Sunday for preseason.
Saturday.
Saturday. Did I say Sunday? Sorry.
Yeah, Saturday.
You sure about that? Oh, they said Tank Bixby been carrying, man.
Hey,
Running back from the Jaguars been carrying a little bit, but also I think. Oh, you know what? Is this the games where like the starters are actually playing?
yeah. So this is game 2, where like starters are going to play. Remember, it's only 3 games this preseason, unlike 4. So now game 2 becomes your starter game. Game 3 is roster cuts.
Gotcha. Okay. You know, I can see where you're going with that.
Yep.
I can see it. You know, I can see the vision a little bit.
Deep dish victory for Detroit. Whatever picks you guys want, whatever sports you want, it's a parlay. We can make it work.
Oh man, I'm looking at preseason.
Preseason's tough.
I'm like the Colts Bears is interesting because you got Richardson and you wonder if Fields will get the start. Bears look good in their preseason game last week. I'll take the Bears. I'll take the Bears over the Colts in some preseason action.
You know what? I'll take the Falcons. Wait, is it Falcons over the? Oh, is it the Bengals?
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Yeah, let me have that. Let me have a piece of that. that staunch victory of the Dolphins.
I love it. Look, I would probably put money on the Falcons too. I think Joe Burrow's not playing, and there's some other stars that we're playing.
No, that's all right. Y'all don't need them at that point.
Yeah. So, no, I like it, and I told you, and me and Keith were texting, and like the quarterback Netflix quarterbacks, it made me like man, Mariota he got hosed in Atlanta there. Like it's not his fault, but if you don't watch the documentary, you're like, yo, Mariota's trash. So it's been good. If you haven't watched that one, that's pretty good too. All right, random question. I got it for us, so we don't have to think about it unless you guys got something.
Go for it.
All right.
Shoot away.
So, recently announced yesterday that Mr. Peyton Manning is headed back to Knoxville to be a professor. He's going to teach a little class. He's going to teach. I can't remember the exact thing. It's like
It's like mass communications for professional communications.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
is that what it
it's
is?
yeah. And it's not something what I thought would be like. It's not football 101 or like Urban Meyer did or anything. But yeah,
how
it's
to
communications. Yeah. So my random question is, if you could have any professional athlete teach you a class, what athlete are you picking, and what class are you taking?
Oh man.
Mm.
Peyton's a good one too. Like
yeah.
I would love to take a class with Peyton.
You know what? I'm gonna just take a funny one because it's the first thing that came to mind. I'm gonna get Clinton Portis to teach me theater. Coming back, like that man had characters for every game. I don't know if it was the CTE or what, but that man literally was a character. Like, and I just feel like there's something in there that he could teach me something. And yeah, but if it's not him, I probably have Dion as a regular PE teacher. That would be fire.
Oh man, I'm torn between two. It's two of my favorite players in the league right now. It's either Jamal Williams or Jameis Winston. Just because I think they'd be hilarious.
Social studies teacher.
They'd be hilarious. Like, I love teachers that make me laugh.
Yeah, bro.
Like Jamal Williams, it would have to be. I see like Jamal Williams with like an after school program with like he's teaching Pokemon. Like he's teaching like some kind of like anime class, which I don't like anime, but I'd go for Jamal Williams. But Jameis, you're right. You said social studies. That's pretty good. I'm thinking like a poetry class with Jameis Winston. Yeah, like poetry with Jameis or something like that.
Man, those are good. Those are good. I'm gonna say Ocho Cinco and how to ball on a budget.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right. That's gonna do it for episode 166. Hope you guys had a great time listening and watching. Hopefully as much as we did making this thing. And we'll catch you guys next week for some NFC predictions.
I usually have a movie quote, and I can't think of one. I just watched The Phone Booth, and I was trying to think of a quote. Couldn't think of one.
Ring, ring.
Ring, ring.
Oh my gosh. We would be the bad boys of Little League. I'm telling you now. We would beat the tar out of the other team.
I'm just gonna go out and say it. Joey Chestnut has to be on the pub.
Has to be.
More. I mean,
has to be.
Dramatic, man. That was a journey.
Man, I'm gonna get real theological on y'all.
Tim.
I think we're all a little soft and misunderstood.
Force them out.
I'll just be real honest.
Let's get Luke Combs. I was begging for Luke Combs not too long ago. We'll get Luke Combs on here. I challenge Luke. I think I can actually beat him in shotgunning a beer. So if he thinks he's got the cojones to come on and try, then by all means, Luke, bring it on.
That's the intro. You just hit my promo for me, James. I love it. Keith, man, I think you hit the nail of the park, man. Picked up right where we left off at.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
You know, I love to talk, love to be heard, and all that stuff.
We'll come back next week. We'd love to have you.